Hitler joined the Nazi Party during the midst of the Great Depression and quickly rose to the top. The Nazi Party believed that the Jews caused Germany to lose World War I. Hitler had the same idea. They believed that only the master race, blue-eyed, blonde-haired, and Christian, could remain on this planet. In 1924, Hitler and the Nazi Party attempted a coup on the German government. They failed, and Hitler was jailed for 5 years. In jail, he wrote Mein Kampf, or My Struggle. This showed how he viewed the world. This was a great propaganda piece for the Nazi Party. And in 1933, Hitler ran for president of Germany. He only got 33% of the vote, but since so much of the German population liked him, the president put him as chancellor. When the president unexpectedly died, Hitler proclaimed himself Führer, or supreme ruler. He and the Nazi Party ran the new government. They called it the Third Reich. The Nazi government prepared for a war. They were mass-producing planes, tanks, ships, and anything that could help them win. The other world powers at the time did not see this as a threat. They thought Germany would follow the armistice signed after World War I, and that Germany could not build up an army or a navy or an air force.
Hide. You couldn't hide, honey. They came to the house, and they says, "Heraus," and you had to put on clothes as much as you can, and you took it, and you had to go out. And there were people who were smarter not to run. They killed them. There was a man who was making men's clothes, and he got scared, and he hid, and the Germans saw it. When everybody was out, they take a gun and took him out, and they shot him there in front of the wife and the children and the people. They didn't care. The misery was when they started to take people out from their homes and throwing them here and there. Women had children, and then how many times did I have to go through the bridge and bring home for my mother for the baby's milk? And if a police stopped you, and he says, "Where are you running?" I'm Hungarian. I speak the language very well at that time, and I still speak the language. So I says, "I'm in a hurry," and then I showed him that I have the yellow star on my coat. I was hiding it. So he said, "Okay, go." Just lucky. If it would be a nasty person, he wouldn't do that. He came back. He was alive and I was alive. The rest of our family didn't come home. We went to in Europe in 1940 and 1942. It started off. That was the hatred of the Jew. Never mind, the Jewish nation is not going to exist. He almost made everything the way he wanted it, but somehow or another, he didn't do it, because the world started to come into it. It was all the countries and everybody. So in 1942, they started the Jews to take them out from their countries and from their homes and took them to Auschwitz. But not just Auschwitz, there were different places where they used to take the Jews. My family was taken to Auschwitz. And there it was Mengele, there was 20.
Even now I get goosebumps when I talk about it, that they dislike Jewish people. Hitler disliked Jewish people. he widen up, make them dig the holes, and when they finish, he make us watch, and they shoot the gun and shoot them down and put them in that hole where they dig, and they cover it up, and I will never forget. I'm trying to forget that, and that's why I cannot tell you exactly.
Nice things you cannot have from them. The Hungarian people are not nice people, never war, and no war. And the Russian people were not nice either. So I could tell you what I went through from my own experience, but everybody sees it with a different eye. No, everything but my faith. I believed in it more than ever. Why? Because we went to shows at home, and my mother closed her eyes and said, "What are you going to see today?" All the girls are going to see a show in theater. We used to buy a Klaus, that. My mother was a very educated.
After the camps, lots of countries opened their doors to immigrants. Most of the survivors traveled home to see if anyone was still alive. When they got to their hometowns, most of them found them in ruins. Only 25% of the Holocaust survivors had family members that had lived. When the survivors immigrated, most of them went to a place where they knew no one and had no money and barely spoke the language. A lot of survivors tried to immigrate to the United States, but the United States only let in 24,000 people out of hundreds of thousands of applications. The two survivors that were pictured earlier, Helen and Alexandra, both immigrated to Canada and then immigrated to the U.S.